Hey guys, welcome back to Homestead Prepping and Survival. Well, she may be old, but I usually do keep her tanks full, so I'm gonna let them just drain out. Let me loosen the cap a little bit. I usually run a heater in there, but I'm wanting to gut it and remodel it, so there's no need to run a heater. So I'm just gonna drain all the water out of it. My daughter collected the eggs for me yesterday. Got a dozen eggs. That's the first time we got an actual dozen. And it's early Friday because we knocked off early. I did have one emergency call I had to go to, so it's early afternoon. They ain't nowhere near done laying yet. The adults haven't, the older ones haven't laid any yet. But all three of the feeders are almost empty. You can see there's a little bit in the middle pen, and the young ones are in there getting what's left in it because it had some feed in it. And the other ones are pretty much empty, so I'm fixing to fill their feeders up and get some chores done because I've got to get some Christmas gifts finished. I'll be right back after I fill them up. All right, guys, I know it was less than a second for y'all. I paused it and started it back. Look at the old hen. She ain't backing down from that rooster. Well, it might be another hen. I think that's a blue orpington hen, not a rooster. So two hens fighting. But anywho, I threw a lot out on the ground here. Let me get down here. You know, I buy layer pellets. So I threw a bunch, about 6 or 8 handfuls out here on the ground to let them scratch. And filled up their feeders, every one of them. And this is probably the last time I'm going to let them out until this hard freeze passes by. I've actually got the water out here turned off, but their waters are still fine. They don't drink a whole lot. Those are 3-gallon waterers, so they can go several days off the waterer. So I'm just going to leave them alone for now. I'm going to open this faucet right here. Let me do that while I'm talking about it. Yeah, nothing coming out. So hopefully I won't have any freeze problems. I did insulate those above ground parts pretty doggone good. I'll have to come out here with a jug and probably warm water these couple of hard freeze days. If y'all remember back several months ago when I was doing the water lines, I've only got 6 eggs so far today, by the way. When I was doing these water lines and I was insulating them, I was telling y'all that I'm expecting a much colder winter than we normally have here in Southwest Georgia. I mean, if we get something into the teens, you know, the upper teens or lower 20s, it's usually only a few days of it. Well, now we've got this hard freeze coming through that's supposed to get down to 15, I think, tonight. And not much above that tomorrow night, and it's not going to warm up at like 34 or 35 degrees during the day. So any of you guys that are watching, if you've got, and see, I put most of the hay out, put some in the dog's house, but if any of you guys are watching have not prepared for this freeze yet, it's not too late, but it's gonna suck being out here in this high wind and extreme cold temperatures. But anyway, guys, you need to be ready for it. And if your animals don't have heat, make sure you at least put some straw and things down so they can kind of nestle down in it and stay warm. Sparky can fit all the way into his dog house, and we put quite a bit of hay in there yesterday. And the chickens have got their lights for heat, so they'll be fine. Sweet Pea, she nests usually in this hay on top of the tractor, so she'll be fine, and I may let her in if she wants to come inside. And old boy cat, he's wild, so I can't touch him, so there's nothing I can do for him. But I'm fixing to feed the cats. I'm gonna freshen up Sparky's water while I'm out here doing chores, just because he's got plenty, but it's a little bit warmer coming out of the ground than what's in his bucket over there. So I want to do a quick update, and this video probably won't come out until after Christmas. So for those of you that are watching and all that, Merry Christmas to you. I hope you have a great Christmas time with your family, and remember to keep Christ centered in all your celebrations. But I'm going to try to finish my grandkids gift on this video, so it'll come out after Christmas, so I'm not going to worry about, you know, all of that. But I've got to take the drill and cut out the trigger holes, you know, where your finger would go, and I've got them all glued up now, so I've got to pre-drill and put the nails in, so, you know, extra strength on the barrels. I'm going to be doing that. So I've got to get out there and scrape the excess glue off, drill, do the trigger holes, and get those things scraped down, wood filled, and then probably paint them tomorrow. So I'm going to save this. We're going to do all one video, and hopefully everybody will have a Merry Christmas. But y'all remember the two things I always tell you: Jesus loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe, be prepared, and right now that means prepare for this cold weather. So I'm not ending the video here, although I did do my ending. But I'm going to feed these cats, because Sweet Pea, if I'm home, she wants food in her dish. So I'm going to go ahead and feed them, and I've been giving them a little extra since it's cool. And hopefully not have any issues. But I'll be back with y'all in just a few seconds for you. Well, I came out of the barn to see what all the ruckus was. It sounds like one of the hens is trying to lay an egg, so, you know, they make a ruckus, especially when they're not used to it. So, all them new hens. But we'll go back in here where it's a little bit warmer. I have the heat in this building set on 60 right now. Normally I run it on 50, but since it's getting so cold, I want to kind of have it a little bit warmer than normal. But these are already sanded as far as got the excess glue off of them. I'm working on this one. It's got a little bit more on this side that I got to get off. And then I got to drill the hole, resand around where I put the hole here, and then wood fill it. And I'm going to let the wood filler dry overnight, and I'll come back tomorrow and resand it to get the excess off, you know, so it's smooth. And then paint them, and they'll dry overnight tomorrow and be ready for Christmas evening when they come over. So it'll have a good, you know, 24 to 36 hours to dry. And basically what I'm gonna do is hang them up in here with a clothes hanger or something off the shelf up there, and that way they can dry really well. Especially I've got the heater down here on the floor. So anyway, working on the grandkids stuff. Hope y'all are enjoying your time. Alright guys, so ended up being tied up most of the day, so didn't get home till late. But I've got one side of the stocking all with the first coat of paint, which I think that's all it's going to take. I got to come back, and like I see a hair on that one from the paintbrush, pull that off. And I got to stamp their names and birthdays and stuff on the other side, and then paint the other side in the trim. And then when that's dry, come back and paint the barrel. Is going to be a different color. It's going to be a gloss black. So this little electric heater I keep in here will keep the food stored in here from freezing, which is all I'm trying to do. But tonight, since I'm having to work in here and it's 17, 18 degrees, I lit my little Mr. Buddy heater, put a new cylinder on it to warm it up, because it's about 55 degrees in here, and I've got it set on 60. That little heater is just not quite enough to warm it up to where the paint will dry properly and I can stay warm enough to keep working. So I went ahead and lit the Buddy heater to try to speed up the drying process. Now I get to go inside and get some more gifts ready for Christmas with my family tomorrow evening. So I'm gonna be up late tonight working on these, and I figured this was the best way to do it. Paint one side, let it dry, touch it up, let it dry, and then flip them and do the edges and the other side after I stamp their name in them, which is going to take me a while to do all 5 grandchildren's full name on each one, you know, one apiece, and their date of birth. So you stamp one letter at a time. So anyway, take me a little while, but it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna look good. Once I get the brown done, I'm going to use some painter's tape and line the edges of the barrel, you know, the stock and all, so I can paint the barrel with that gloss black, and it'll cover up any of this brown that's on there. And I think they're gonna look okay. It's just gonna take me a while tonight. So I hope y'all are having a great Christmas Eve. We had our normal church service for Sunday. Since tomorrow's Christmas, we did it Saturday evening. So for the last, you know, hour and a half, from 5 to about 6:30, I was tied up with that, and had to get home and take care of the chickens, and their water's froze, and pour some fresh water out there, and take care of the dog and the cats, and then myself. And I had to basically get a mail person, a mail carrier, that would go to the post office with me, since they were closed to the public, but there were still some people working, to pick up my son's gift from me, because they tried to deliver yesterday after the shop was closed, and either get it today or he gets it after Christmas. And I didn't want that to happen, but it wouldn't have been a big deal to him. But either way, I got his gift. I got to get up to the house and get his and several others wrapped, get them put under the tree, in the middle of coming back and forth working on the Grandkids rubber band gun. So, giving y'all an update on it. I know I started the video yesterday. I told you it'd take you a little while, but this little 1,000-watt electric heater, just a little bit small for this barn when it's this cold, even though it's insulated. I've insulated it well. If you're up on the loft, it's nice and cozy up there because heat rises. But down here toward the floor, about 10 degrees cooler. So Mr. Buddy right there will help warm it up, and I'll show y'all when I make some more progress. Alright, there's the second coat on the first side. I did find more hairs in it when it was drying. I had to scratch out and put in. I got one that I got out, but I can't get it to hide. But either way, second coat on them, and I'm gonna let this dry. The Mr. Buddy heater is helping quite a bit, although the electric heater still hasn't turned off. So it was pretty cool in here, but it's not taking that long to dry. I've still got a few more gift wrapping to do up there, so I'll let this coat dry, and then I should be ready to flip it over and get the edges and the other side painted so it can dry, and then hopefully get the gloss black for the barrel on there tonight. I'm not the best painter in the world, so they're just gonna have to live with it, but either way, I think they turned out pretty good so far. I've tested them with rubber bands. They shoot really well. No hang-ups. So I think all the grandkids will enjoy them. I was turning the camera. Now that's a level shot, but either way, I think all the grandkids will enjoy them, and hopefully get them finished tonight so the paint can cure tomorrow, because they're going to play with them pretty hard, I bet. Alright, we'll try to record this. I don't know how well the camera will capture it. Don't put the full names, but I'd have been here half the night stamping all those in there. Now the trick is to get a good coat of paint on there without filling in the letters where they can't be read. Don't know if I can do it, but at least I tried. Alright, I had to get a little creative to hang that one up, but I'm going to do touch-ups with it hanging since I got both sides of the brown painted. And I got these hanging by clamps. They were no problem. So I can get to them, get the touch-ups done, runs cut off and repainted, that kind of thing. And I had some like paper stuck to that one. I got a run right there I want to get off from the first coat of paint. Some fur from the towel. So I've got them all hung up. I know I got another clamp, I ain't going up there to dig for it. But I'll let them dry for another hour. I'm gonna come down, cut off the spots, sand anything needs sanding, and do a touch-up paint of the brown, and that'll be the last coat of brown. Let that dry for an hour, hour and a half, and then come down and reclamp these things from the stock end, or either lay them down and tape them so I can paint the barrels with the gloss black, because I got to get all the clothespins painted and the barrels. So we're getting there. From back here it almost looks like a real gun, don't it? Anyway, I think they'll have fun with them. I hope anyway. All right. I know it's hard to tell with the light in the background, but I've got them taped off, and the barrels are painted with that gloss black, a nice thick coat, so it'll be nice and shiny like a rifle should look. I touched up the brown earlier this morning. It's Christmas Day, guys. Working so much I got behind on them, but I touched up all the brown this morning, hung them to dry above this heater. Had to put another bottle in it, of course. But so I just finished painting them. I'm gonna give them about 30 minutes so it'll, at least start drying, and then I'm gonna come out and peel the tape off so that it doesn't stick too hard when that paint really dries good. Because right here above the heater, it should dry fairly fast. I've been giving it about an hour, hour and a half between every coat and all that good stuff. So hopefully in about 30 minutes I can peel the tape off, and the barrels will be almost dry. Still got to get them wrapped before the grandkids get here in about 5 hours. So I made it, but we're not home free yet. Too bad I don't have a lathe and the metal and all to make one for real. Oh, and the sixth one's sticking up there, drying. You do what you got to do. I'll try to get y'all a finished shot with it laying out here on the table saw, and better light and all that stuff once the tape is gone. Hope y'all are having a Merry Christmas. I really do appreciate all you subscribers. Thank you very much for watching the videos. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me grow tremendously. Thank y'all so very much. Remember, the reason for this season is Jesus Christ. He loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared.